Congratulations to last year's championship team. I told those guys afterwards, like watching that video, and again, it just goes to show like this place does things at the highest level. Like that video before, the way they captured that joy and emotion, like it got me emotional on the sideline, like that standing there watching it. But congratulations to all those guys, the ones that were here obviously, and the ones that couldn't be here. That is a special thing. And recently, the women's coach at Bryan, she just recently texted me a picture of our banner up there, and the same thing. It just, I get chills thinking about it, and makes you emotional because it's hard to do. I just told those guys that like it is hard to win. It is really hard to win. It is really hard to win championship. But you know, for that group to be celebrated today in front of everybody was awesome to see. As far as the game, I told these guys like. Honestly, I feel the same way that I did last Sunday. You know, these are opportunities that don't go on your record to see, okay, what do we need to do? You know, what do we need to work on? What do we need to highlight? You know, I thought the energy was just better. We started last Sunday. We were on our heels, and I told them, like, I'll put that on me. Like, I tailored practice back a little bit last week going into that. You know, where we stayed amped up this week. We didn't kind of have a little taper off later in the week like we did last week. So again, that's what you do this for, to learn about the group. This group needs to continue to be challenged, continue to be prodded to play at the highest level. There's plenty of work to do, but there should be on October 26th.
I think they cut it to 5 kind of early in that second half. What did you like down the stretch in those last 10, 12 minutes or so that y'all did to allow you to separate?
Well, the start of the half, again, we were extended, which in some cases was good defensively, but then we got overextended. Then it became like, let me just run up and try to pressure this guy 37 feet from the basket when we don't need to. And then the other guys were overextended. So, and they obviously made an adjustment to try and drive us at multiple spots. So we adjusted on that, better. We just sat down and guarded better. We were better in gaps with some of our help. Obviously the rebounding was 20 offensive rebounds to a team that's small is atrocious. But and it's funny because the challenge to our guys is that was almost the exact number I said to them. I said, let's go get 22 offensive rebounds ourselves, and we give up 20. So, maybe next time I'll tell them, like, let's give up 20 rebounds and we'll have 20 offensive rebounds.
Related note to that, Lazar, Christian, and Keyshawn combined for
0 rebounds.
How? Like, how does that?
That's a great question. Now,
I don't mean that in a snarky way.
No, we were just talking about it in there. Some of it is with us switching with those guys. They're on the perimeter a little bit. They're not in there to rebound. Sometimes they get switched on. So again, it's something that we have to watch and look at. The other piece is in certain cases, and actually last Sunday was more of this case. Sometimes when they're matched up and, okay, you've got a monster offensive rebounder, the job is to just keep that guy off, right? And the other guys have to clean it up. Now, you flip it and go, okay, but your wing's got 20-some rebound, right? Like, so you're getting rebounding, but yes, they have to be more active. And again, the defensive rebounding, sometimes that gets skewed towards, yes, you challenge the shot, somebody else rebounds, you come up to help, the rebound. It's the offensive side. Like, those guys have to be more of a presence on the offensive glass. They can be and they have to be, right? They have to be dominant on the offensive glass for us. So again, something we'll look at, something we've already talked about and said, all right, we need to look at this and figure out, again, some of it might have been them in spots where they couldn't rebound. Other times, like, they got to go in and fly in that rebound for us, especially in the offensive end.
Coach, you said on your press conference, the midweek press conference, like talking about how, top 10 teams have lost exhibition games, but then, asking like, don't overreact. Do you think there's ever kind of like a double standard where it's like, oh, maybe like, oh, don't overreact about a loss, but then let's now overreact about a win?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing. Don't overreact.
Mm-hmm.
just standing in the hallway, and my wife said, "Oh, you happy?" And I feel the same. I really do. It's not coach speak. That's not like you guys will kind of get to know. Like I was sitting here, and I'm all right. Like we said, a huge win, and all right, you know, like it was good, and you know, it's just not my nature to be up here and then down here and up here and down here. Like we have work to do. So regardless of what this outcome was, regardless of last Sunday's outcome, like we have work to do, and we have to be able to now, if you want to call it success, handle success. We handled failure from last week. Last week we failed. We handled that this week. Preparation was really good. Film sessions were really good. So can we do that now? Now that if they walk out of here and somebody says, "Oh, that was a great game, you guys played great," can they handle that to be like, when I sit there and I say, "Look, we weren't that great, here's why, here's what we have to do better," because we're chasing something more than winning an exhibition.
Tyrell Ward 2 years ago was a 40% plus 3-point shooter, took a year off. 18 tonight, 60% from three. How important is it to your team, especially with so many young guards, to establish some alphas or some guys that they know when we have these tight games like, hey, Tyrell can go get us a bucket? How important is it to get confidence for a guy like that in this game for him in the season?
Yeah, it's huge. Honestly, he hasn't shot the ball great recently, but he is a very good shooter. You don't shoot 40% in the SEC for 2 years and not be able to make shots. So, you know, it was good to see him. And Tyrell's he's just a basketball guy. Like, he's just one of those guys, like he's always talking about basketball. There's always something, a debate, a discussion, a memory, or whatever. Like, and it's a lot of times, I mean, there's guys all over the place, but those DMV guys especially have that, and he's got that. And he's like, I feel his appreciation for the situation. I feel it from a lot of them, but I feel from him more than anybody. Right, like he didn't start either exhibition, didn't matter to him, right? Like it matters to guys, and that's okay. It's human nature for it to matter, but you know, for him, it's just like, what you need me to do, and you know, he's going to have moments here where he looks like the guy that could go get 12 or 14 a game in the SEC. He's going to have moments because he hasn't played real basketball in a year and a half where he doesn't look like that, right? So he's responded well, you know, all the way around. But all those, I mean, again, like you look down the line, the strength of us is the group. It's not, you know, obviously there were good players on the team last year, but you knew it was Mac's shoulder show, right? Like it was going to be his show. When push came to shove, it was shoulder. For us, we're a little different that way. And it's different than what I'm used to. I'm used to, like, I know these are the guys, right? These 1 or 2 guys, these 6 or 7 guys are gonna play. So it's different. I'm getting used to it too. It's gonna be an adjustment for me. Because I look down there and I go, like, man, that guy hasn't been in the game in 8 minutes, like, and he's good. He should be in the game. But then you look out there and go, well, who's he taking out? So there's gonna be that, you know, I've used the word sacrifice with them a lot. There's gonna be a lot of that. A lot of sacrifice, knowing that over the course of a 30-some game season, every single one of them is going to be sitting in this chair and having you guys go like, man, what an unbelievable game.
To kind of piggyback